Love Sphere YMCA. I am Jen, your health and wellness director, and I am here with Jill and Ashley. How are we doing today, guys?
Good.
Good.
Awesome. We have another wellness talk for you guys today. We're just going to kind of chat about how are you staying sane after one whole month is done, actually more than a month, and moving into our second month here. So this is just going to be a little bit of chatter back and forth on what we're doing to keep ourselves from going crazy. We look forward to hearing from you guys what you've been doing to stay busy as well. So Jill, how have you been doing in the last 4 weeks? I know I just said you like 10 minutes ago, but how have you been doing?
Good. I did not think being like isolated at home was going to be this bad, but it's bad. Like it's weird not being able to like go out and go to work and just communicate with people at work and see people. It's just so weird and it's driving me nuts. And the fact that just like going to the grocery store is weird now. So just everything is just weird. It's just weird. And I can tell quarantine's getting to me. Like my motivation started up here and then it's just kind of like going down. But at least the weather's getting nice. That's been helping. My dog keeps me motivated because he knows the weather's getting nice. So he wants to go outside more, even though I don't want to. But it's been different. Like I've never had to experience anything like this, being like isolated, and so it's very just different and weird and hard to get used to. For me. It's very strange.
How about you, Ashley? How have you been doing?
Pretty good. I think each day is a little different, and I think as the longer this has gone on, the more challenging it has become, because I think we started out with a lot more like motivation and positivity and, hope that it wasn't going to last this long. And now it's like, oh, we're looking at, a whole nother month of this, and just kind of being a little discouraged at times with, like Jill said, just not really being able to go out and like feeling like when you do go out, because it's to go to the grocery store, everyone's like looking at you and everyone's kind of like, a little frightened or, doesn't want to be too close to you, and you've got like shields between you and the like cashier. It's just so odd. But I think too, like there's been new ways to connect with people and catching up maybe with some people that, don't live close, since we're all kind of in the same boat. You're not necessarily like seeing all those people you normally would see, but it also kind of gives opportunity to be in touch with more of those that we can do virtually. But trying to stay busy. I think that's been the hardest part for me, is just being super task and work oriented, that like trying to fill that like space, I think, in terms of like accomplishing things. And I know that's not what life is based on, and that's not like my value or anything, but I think that's something for me that I struggle quite a bit with. If I like have a day where I really don't do much, like I just feel like gross and like don't, motivation for the next day is not really there. So trying to stay busy. I mean, it helps that we have our morning little talks, and just trying to get outside and find things to do like around the house. Like my husband says everything's going to be painted white by the time this thing is over, because I only have white paint, so everything's getting painted white.
That's funny.
But yeah,
I think it's been I think in the first month for me, like I was so distracted with how we were going to do what we had to do for work. So and kind of like the fear of not knowing if your job was going to be considered essential or how long we were going to be able to do this. I think everybody was in that boat of thinking that. And especially, I mean, all of us are kind of focused on that, because obviously we need our money, we need our job, we need that security. So in the beginning, I really was focused on work, which was a great distraction for me, huge. But now, and I know I've said this in a couple of our other videos, like we have this down now. We have our routine. Like, we we meet at 9, we establish our plan for the day, we plan our weeks, we have everything kind of all laid out. And so like work now is super smooth, where 6 months ago my normal personal life was smooth and work was just hectic. So to see that table like flipped and work is just consistent and predictable, which I do like. But yeah, staying busy on your own, I've been able to do that a little bit better. I think I was very busy last month too, like just trying to stay preoccupied and active as best I could, and cleaning around the house, kind of crazy, and gutting things out, like spring cleaning that I normally wouldn't be doing. And now I feel kind of like I'm kind of hitting a little bit of a plateau, like activity wise. I'm not as motivated. I love going for walks, so I'm still active there. And like Justin will say too, he's like, you never stop moving. So like I'm going up and down my stairs, I'm doing laundry, I'm cleaning, I'm moving. So I'm still being active. It's just not what I'm used to being active. And that does kind of affect my thought process a little bit, and like my mood. Cleaning usually makes me happy. I'm probably one of those weird people that I'm stressed, when I'm sad, when I'm angry, like all I want to do is clean. It's just the best. I just turn on a podcast that I like, which is relaxing, and then I just do what I want to do. I kind of get into my own thought process, and to have my cleaning project completed, then I feel like so good. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I was active, I did this, whatever. So that's kind of been helping me. But knowing that my big project to-do list is almost done, I know I've shared with the girls here too, like I hate cleaning my bathroom. Like it's the last thing on my list, and I was supposed to do it yesterday, wasn't I? And I didn't.
Yeah.
So today's now the day I need to get it done. So once that is deep cleaned, I do have my garage left, but that's a totally different story. But like those things are good. But I'm like dreading doing the bathroom, but I'm going to get it done. So yeah, it's just been kind of hard to not get into a little bit of a rut. And I don't know how we can overcome that really. Like it's just, I think one day at a time. And I know that not just only being active or having your to-do list and feeling like you're being productive. I think like the relaxation and time for yourself, we talked about self-care a little bit too, is still also really important. So that balance is really, really important. And I know, Jill, you've been doing great with meditation. We did have a meditation challenge that was posted, and I know Ashley didn't do any of it. I'm just kidding. No, we all have kind of struggled with that too. I did a few days of meditation. Jill's been really consistent and good with it too. And but I think Ashley, you've been really good with continuing doing yoga. I was supposed to do yoga and I didn't even do that. So
Together.
yes, you need to do them together. That is very true. But so for Jill, like how does that help you throughout your day? Like when you know that you have all this productivity that you want to get done, like, but you're kind of struggling, and like you can at least get your yoga and your meditation in. Does that help kind of balance out your day a little bit more?
It does. Like I've noticed that I've been doing it in the morning, so I kind of just start my morning that way, and I've noticed I go into the rest of my day kind of with a clear head. I don't think about what I have to do in like my whole to-do list. I'm like, okay, so what did I want to do first? Okay, I wanted to do my dishes first.
Lies, you did not want to do them first.
No, but that's like, I'm like, okay, I'm in such a good mood after meditating. I'm going to do the worst thing that I got to do that I absolutely hate. I'm going to get it done. So then I can forget about it and just continue with the rest of my day. But it's been kind of amazing to see like how when I start my morning that way, doing yoga and meditation, like just how focused and clear I like am thinking in the morning. Because usually I wake up in the morning and I'm like, okay, what do I got to do? I got to do this, 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 and this. But I start out with that, and then I kind of just have that clear mindset to go into my day. And it's been helping a lot doing that in the morning. Because usually I do it in the middle of the day when I'm already like stressed and have done multiple things. I'm like, oh my God. So it's helped me a lot, which I'm very happy because, oh my gosh.
I think in the morning for you too, it's nice because like you get up and you focus on you for that time. You don't get busy, preoccupied doing something for somebody else, maybe, or work, or your to-do list that might not be fun. Like you are drawn to do some self-care because you know that's going to help your day be more successful, which I think is really important.
Yeah.
How about you, Ashley? What do
My
you do in the morning when you get up?
Did you have an actual question? What did you say?
Yeah, what do you do in the morning when you get up? Actual question.
Honestly, it's pretty sad lately. Since I haven't been sleeping very well, I've tended to lie in bed extra long, even though I don't actually fall back asleep. Like today, I woke up at 5:45, and I don't really think I fell back asleep yet. I didn't get out of bed till 8. So I think putting that priority and being like, hey, I know I'm not really gonna get much more rest, so I might as well get up and do something, and focus and not just like lay there being like, why can't I get more sleep? Because I think too with like yoga and meditation or like journaling type of thing, like it's still pretty relaxing and like restful, like for your body and your mind. So it's not like I'm getting up and trying to do like hit or something where I'm like totally fried, but just like kind of a better way to start the day. Because right now it's kind of like stay in bed as long as possible, eat something, and get ready to come on the computer. And then maybe fit that other stuff in later.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, when I get up in the morning, usually, I mean, it's either my birds or my cat like drawing me out of bed. Especially like today. I mean, Wyatt definitely wanted to get fed, so he was kind of being annoying. Slightly hear my birds kind of start to chirp. It's Friday, so I do sleep in just a little bit. Justin doesn't work on Thursday night, so we're able to stay up a little bit. So I didn't get up until, probably like 7:30 or something like that. So Wyatt was wanting food for sure. And my birds were starting to chirp a little bit, so that gets me out of bed, and Justin continues to sleep. But I mean, I was very exhausted yesterday. When we had dinner, we went upstairs and just kind of watched some TV and relaxed, and I literally fell asleep by like 8 o'clock, and I just slept all the way through. Like I kind of faded in and out. He stayed up, but I was like in and out, and I think I needed that extra rest, and I feel better this morning. But coffee really gets me out of bed, so I come downstairs and feed my cat, and I make my coffee. I make I've been eating breakfast. These girls would be super proud of me. I've been eating breakfast every single day on this quarantine, so success. My English muffin with peanut butter and a little bit of jelly is what also gets me out of bed. So I usually try to I open my patio window, not like you guys need to know my play-by-play for my morning routine here, but I opening my patio window, just seeing the sun and looking outside. And I have a window in my stairwell, and like as I come down in the morning, I always open it up, and it's right to where the sun rises. And I kind of take a few moments, not to be corny here, let people in on my little routines and my little things, but I always kind of just think of what I'm grateful for already in the day. I usually finish my journaling at the end of my night, and I always list like 3 things that I'm grateful for, and it usually ends up being like 10, 20 things that I'm actually grateful for by the end of the day. But in the morning, just taking the time to appreciate like the sun. You can hear the birds outside, not only mine in the house, but the outside. And I really have been more appreciative to like each day of getting up and being able to see that sunrise, because when we worked, we were in class at that time, that bright and early, we just kind of weren't able to enjoy that. So that's been helping me like kind of stay grounded a little bit better. And will be hard to go back to work and not look out the window, not feed my cat like at that time, like, and just kind of enjoy that slower paced morning. So I have been enjoying that a little bit more. I think that's helping me because it's consistent, whether it's Monday or it's Saturday or Sunday, like every day feels the same. I think everyone's kind of sympathizing with that right now. That my routine is the same every day. I got up a little later today than normal, but I think that I need to be better about meditation. I have been good a little bit during the week where I would get up and do my workout, I would shower, do meditation, and then get ready for my workday. So, and I do think that that meditation was a good way to start your day. Because like you said, Jill, it does help kind of make it clear, clear headed and still appreciative for like the day, even though it's chaos and we're stressed and we're tired and trying to keep our thoughts balanced, I think is definitely a struggle. But I think for us, like you said, we all come here, we meet at 9. That's very consistent for us, like Monday through Friday. And I think that that's helping me greatly. The one day that we didn't do that because our schedules didn't mesh was like a rough day. So just because it wasn't normal, it was Ashley's fault. Just because it wasn't like normal, and not that it's like our new normal, but it was a routine that I got, and it's a good distraction, like talking to you guys in the morning and just kind of not thinking about our normal life right now. But Ashley had mentioned like journaling and stuff like that. Have you been journaling and stuff more and writing and during this time?
A little bit. I've been trying to get better at it. I actually have like this, it's kind of like a journal devotional type book thing that I bought it's like 3 Christmases ago. It was a long time ago. And I got one for my mother-in-law too. And we just never started it. And I was like, oh, I'm going to start it in January. And I didn't start it. And so she had actually asked if like I wanted to start doing it. So we said we were going to start it last week and give ourselves 2 weeks to finish it because it has like different sections to fill out, and then it has like 5 days in a row of different things to reflect on and stuff. And I literally started it on Wednesday, but I started it and I did 2 days in a row, so I'm trying.
That's good. How about you, Jill? Do you journal and write and stuff like that to kind of help clear your mind?
Well, I don't want to make it as an excuse, but like for me, it's so hard to like write for me. So like I can only get like a few sentences down before, I have to stop and like shake out my hand. But I try to as much as I can, when I'm feeling up to it or when I remember. But then like halfway when I'm writing, like I just can't. So I've just kind of given up on it. But I want to. I'm thinking about like just doing either like, as much as I would hate doing it, like a video journal just so I can get it out and then just not even come back to it, forget about it, but just to get it out, because a pen and paper is so hard for me right now. Like, I don't know if it's ever going to get better, but so that's kind of what I'm leaning towards to do, but I would like to do it and I've thought about it. It's just getting myself to do it.
I think that video journal would be a really cool idea, especially now since, I mean, for me, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't like seeing this. I still don't like seeing my face on here. But to do that on my own, like 2 months ago, I would not have done that ever. I didn't even like taking selfies. Now I'm trying. They still don't turn out good, but it's good. I'm trying because we're supposed to be connecting this different way. So I think that's really cool because that would be something that I wouldn't be scared to do. And I don't know, like if you can kind of relate to that, because I wouldn't have wanted to do that a while ago. So.
No. But I feel like I've been thinking like journaling would just help just to get everything that's on my mind just out. And I always make up the excuse, like I can't just do it on a pen and paper. Like I can't, it physically hurts, like my hands, like I can't do it. So I'm like, well, what can I do? I don't want to do like a video journal, but I'm like, if that's kind of my only option, just kind of suck it up. No one else is going to see it. So one of these days, maybe I'll try.
Or you could even do just like an audio one too, if you didn't want
to
like see your face, because I know sometimes that feels a little more awkward.
Right. Yeah. But I got some great facial expressions, so.
True.
I think it's cool to been more drawn in the last year listening to podcasts, being like intrigued to like, I never thought that I would be interested in what a lot of other people have to say. That sounds bad, but I actually love the podcasts where people just are real and they like just talk about life and what they're doing. And I think it's fun to relate to that. So like going back and like, I think you would probably want to listen to your journal again, because I think you would see, you know, you would probably have some stupid moments like we have all the time, every day on here, that get awkward and strange. But then you can kind of just laugh about it and to the next thing, or like hear your progress, or even like, I think difference in writing for me, because I've always been more like a pen and paper person, but just noticing like the difference in your handwriting is interesting to me from day to day. It's fairly the same, right? But some days it just is different, and I can really tell like what my mood was like that day based on what my handwriting looks like. And so I suppose too, for your video, like you could hear your voice and kind of relate back that like I must have been really struggling, or I'm in a better mood this day. And so then just like the words that are coming out of your mouth, just like the projection of how you're actually saying things, it would be cool to see.
I know there's times where I'm like thinking in my head, I'm like, I'm pretty funny. Like I say some pretty funny things in my head, and I'm like, I should just record them. But I'm like, no one else is probably gonna think they're funny.
I think they're funny. That's why we get along so good.
Oh, that's what I do when I do dishes. I have conversations with myself.
I talk to myself too.
Oh my God, it's bad. I talk to myself a lot. And I talk to my dog like probably too much. Like I yell at him because he's so cute. Like, last night, Corey was like, what did he do? What did Finn do? I'm like, no, I'm just yelling at him because he's so cute.
Can you give us an example of what that's like?
I'd just be like, oh my God, Finley. And he'd just look at me, I'm like, why are you so cute? And then he'd just get all cuddly because he thinks I'm yelling at him.
It's like, am I in trouble?
Yeah, he does. And then he comes up and gets all like squinty eyed, like, what did I do? And I'm like, you didn't do nothing. You're just so cute. He's dreaming now. I can hear his like little claws in his kennel.
That's funny.
I swear, if I didn't have a dog, I would probably go nuts.
Yeah. What are some other ways, Ashley, that you're staying kind of balanced and even this time? I know you do cook and you bake a lot and stuff too. And has that helped you kind of? Is that kind of like a, I don't want to say like a meditative area, but kind of like you can kind of be more thoughtful of what's going on with you and just focus on what you're doing?
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is just like as a time filler, like trying to fill that time, but also, yeah, trying new things. And that is something that I do enjoy. So it's not like it can feel like more of a task, especially like when we're in more of our busy schedule and like you only have this much time to make dinner, or it's like, we gotta go here, we gotta do this. And it's like, oh, well, now we're going out of town this weekend. So then you come back, and then you don't have anything ready for the next week. So it's been nice to kind of slow down and take the time to enjoy that and not feel like stressed that I like have to get it done by 5 o'clock because then I have to go back to work or I have to go to this meeting or whatnot. So that's been kind of nice to not really I mean, it's something that I've done before this too, but just being able to actually enjoy it and like be relaxed in it a lot more and not stress that it needs to get done at a certain time or things like that.
I think with like the cooking too, like for me, because my schedule was so weird and Justin would work overnights too, like we only had so much time. And if we were at the gym until like 7:38, it was so rushed. And then we ate a lot of the same things. It was really like simple food. So now to actually like meal prep and like have more food and, you know, still healthy, good food, but just things that I normally, because like, oh, I can just throw that in the crock pot at any time today, you know, and it should be good by the time we're there. I have time to prep the vegetables or whatever. So that's been kind of nice. And I think like for a lot of us, we get stuck into, this rut of like especially if we're home, then we can take advantage of like being super active during this time. I don't want to be active by like working out necessarily, but just active in general, because we have all the time to do the things that we don't have time for when we're working.
Right.
I think because we have so much time, we're so overwhelmed and we don't know how to articulate like what we should do when. So it's like these two extremes. And so for me, I'm just trying to stay positive that I have this time to do all these things,
Mm-hmm.
and get them done and feel good about it now. So that when we go back to work, you're like, wow, my house looks pretty nice. I don't have laundry to do. My yard is all clean and the garage looks really nice. And so I think we need to, again, I know I say this a lot on a lot of our talks, but like just trying to stay positive the best you can. And I think that makes a huge difference for my state of mind and like staying as sane as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And I know Jill too, we had talked because of your hands, hard to maybe be like as like creative and stuff like that too. But like, I know you mentioned you like photography and things before. So trying to get more creative and being busy minded that way, I think is kind of fun too. So what are some other things that you do for like creativity wise?
I've been reading a lot more. I have not read a book and I could not tell you when. So I figured I'm like, now's the time. I have plenty of time to read. So I've been reading. What else have I been doing? I've been painting, like that's kind of easier on my hand, not such a tight grip. I've been cooking more. I've been trying to improve my sewing skills. We're not quite there. We're getting there. But that's kind of been my, main focus. What kind of sucks is there's so much I want to do around my house and like fix and upgrade and like do stuff in my yard, but it's also so like, I don't know how to put it. I don't want to do it because it's not my house. Like we rent. So like all these things like I want to do to like my house and everything, like I don't want to do here, and I don't want to waste my energy putting all this work into a house that's not mine. So like I get so jealous when you guys talk about your plants and all that. I'm just like, I want it. And I'm gonna start like some plants in my house and stuff like that. So kind of been getting ready for that. But
You could just come work on our houses for us.
for us, yeah.
You can just I'll give you one of my tomato plants for your deck. And then you can take it with you to your new house.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Because once we get our own house, like I have so many plans that I want to do. It's so hard putting effort into something that's not mine. Because in a year or two we're gonna leave. And then I leave all this behind, the hard work I did to it. So I'm like, do I want to do it? Like we're gonna do what we have to do, like mow our yard and stuff like that. But I don't want to plant a garden here to only be here for another year. So, but I've been trying to get, outdoors more. Just even sitting outside, I like. Just playing fetch with Finn. I know I like doing that because it's fun. He's funny. Just trying to keep my mind occupied no matter what, trying to find something to do. I've been talking to my sister a lot because she's obviously not working. She's a waitress. So we've had a lot of time to talk. Just that, getting my mind off of things.
Good. How about you, Ashley? What do you do to get creative besides painting everything in your house white?
No, it's not really creative though, because it's just like
It's white.
Yeah, it's not like you're painting like a picture or anything. I don't know. I'm not that creative of a person, I don't think. In like the natural way of the state. I don't know. Like I don't draw, I can color for a little bit, but usually those like adult coloring books just are a little too tedious and I can't finish a whole page because it takes too long. It does. We have things that we use for youth group and they're like crazy. We were working on this octopus one since the beginning of the school year, and we just finished it because it's like 2 whole pages of this octopus. But anyways, I don't know, maybe like more DIY kind of stuff, like in the yard, and like I like my essential oils, so I've made different things with those, different like cleaners, and I this is not really creative, but what I started doing this week is it's called hair training. So you work on training your hair to go longer in between washing.
So for those of you that don't know, I used to be a cosmetologist out there, so I'm laughing just a little bit, but it's good. So how is your hair training going? Because I haven't been in this conversation before. How's it going?
It's going okay. I just don't like having to wash, like my hair is not that long right now, but it's still thick and it takes forever to dry. And like, but with the amount of like working out that we do, I still shower, but like the extra time that it takes to like wash and dry my hair, I'm not a super big fan of. So trying to make it a week without washing. But that involves a lot of dry shampoo. So, you know, it's one or the other.
Yeah.
And Jen has a professional opinion on that.
No, we'll do a follow-up on that. No, I'm just kidding. You know, this is the longest my hair has been in a long time, and I don't have as thick a hair as you do. I've had short hair for a lot of my life, and so for me to style it and do it was like nothing at all. And I almost needed it freshly washed and blow dried to actually do what I wanted it to do. So now, because my hair is probably like a third of the thickness of yours, and mine is like super sleek and like, I don't know, I don't want to say like shiny is not the right word or whatever. It's just slippery. It's very straight. So I need that wash and blow dry kind of to do something with it, which I didn't do anything with it today, and this is what you get. So like I've never had the dry shampoo routine, I guess. A lot of the stylists that I worked with did, because they had extensions and they had very long hair, and they not want to compromise their extensions and stuff often. And there's a lot of people in your situation that have thick hair and or really treated hair that needs to save it too, right? And not shampoo it and get rid of their color and all this kind of stuff. So as with we're going way off on a segue. I think it's good. Whatever works for you is great. So good luck with your 1 week without, a wash. How many times do you dry shampoo then? 3 throughout the week?
No, every night.
Every night?
But not a lot.
Not a lot.
Well, like, because at the beginning, it's not really like getting oily. Like I would normally go like every other day or every couple days, but I don't know.
I don't do anything.
So this is the perfect time to train your hair to do anything. So for those of you guys at home that are wanting to flip your part the other direction or grow it out like me, take the time to, teach it something different.
My own dry shampoo is where I was going with that. I just never got there.
I never got there. How did you make your own dry shampoo?
Yeah.
Cornstarch, baking soda, a little bit of cocoa powder just because I have darker hair. And then I did cedarwood oil and lavender oil because those are supposed to be helpful for your hair.
Very nice.
Interesting.
And I have it in a mason jar, and then I put it on with my, like an old, bigger, like makeup brush so that it doesn't get everywhere. Because I've had those ones where you like, I don't know, or I've put it in like more of like a spice kind of jar before, and I swear whenever I try to use it, it just like ends up all over my clothes. So I like having the brush so I can actually just like put it where I want it to go and not like shake something on my head and then it's like
everywhere.
Pretty much.
That's good. So what other ways have you been creative? Or anything, but I train my hair.
The only thing I could think of.
Oh, that's funny.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but
was
it's
looking at stuff for landscaping my house, but so my brother and my dad are here today to rip all the ugly stuff out. But I don't really know what we're gonna put back in. But something that's not as ugly.
that's good though. Like looking at Pinterest is kind of fun because you get like the inspiration of like
Yeah. No one has a ramp
plants.
on the front of their house though, so it's hard to like envision it.
Just put flowers like hanging all the way around your ramp railing.
Just everywhere.
The garden on the ramp.
Yes. Oh, that's good. And I mean, I think you're pretty like creative with like your cooking and stuff too. So you're pretty, I think, adventurous with that because you're like, nah, really.
I think people think I am because I'm weird and have like different dietary habits than most people. So thanks, babe. I just got told by I was weird by my husband. You still eat the food, so it's fine most of the time.
Most of the time. I think it forces you to get creative though, because when you're kind of what you're eating a little bit, you're trying new things, you're mixing things a little differently. And I think that that's kind of fun too, because how do we know if we like something unless we try it? So, and I mean, I'm kind of teasing you with your hair training right now, but this is like the perfect time to do that. Because what if it didn't work? I know you work at a gym, but at the same time, what if it didn't work as what you wanted it to? And like halfway through your day, you felt like your hair looked gross, or we can just put it up at the gym. But imagine being like in a different setting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, taking the time to try something new now can be just as creative, whether it's with your hair or, maybe it's styling it even differently too, trying something different that if you're like, yeah, I don't know what I did there.
Nothing works.
Nothing works.
Hey, at least I didn't buy like a box of dye or something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to be needing some touch-ups here soon. My grays are coming out. You guys are stressing me out. These girls are like 10 years younger than me. I shouldn't say 10. That makes me sound really old. I think it's like 8 actually. So 8's a little bit better. But they're sprouting since these
Probably 7.
Just kidding. That's 7. I'll be
7.
7 for me and 6 for Jill. I don't know.
No, we're both 25, right?
Oh yeah, and I forgot I had a birthday. I'm really confused.
I forgot I had a birthday.
Yes, did you guys hear that at home? They're 25. I'm in my 30s. I'm going to be 33 in July. So to be 25 again and be able to train your hair. So moving on, I'll share what I do to get creative quickly here. This is becoming a longer talk than we anticipated, but that's okay. Fun ideas, giving you guys some laughs at home to stay sane during this time and just kind of little tidbits. I'm not really a huge adventurous person to cook, so but I've been working on like my garden and planning my landscaping. I've been in my house now for almost 2 years, so I didn't do anything last year, and we moved in like right before summer the year before, so this will be our 3rd summer here. So just doing some different projects. I did go buy some pavers and like did one of my gardens in the back. My deck is like falling apart. So I stepped on like 3 boards and almost fell through my deck, which is a really cool thing. Now I'm going to have to put like markers on those so I don't kill myself going through my deck. But now I'm like debating whether to rip it off and just do like a patio or what I can do to get through this year so I don't get hurt. So I need to call my dad for that one because my dad's usually the one that helps me with stuff. But I've been starting like plants in my house and just kind of experimenting kind of more with that. And I've never had a green thumb, so it's been a huge struggle for me to take care of a plant. It's harder than a pet, actually. So yeah, but that's kind of what keeps me busy. I do draw, I do paint. I've had that in my back pocket most of my life. I do get drawn to it, like I want to go do it. I just have a hard time sitting and forcing it. I think once I have an area that's like set up, I used to paint a ton and I left like my easel up and I left all my stuff out. It was so much easier to go to it. But now that it's packed up and, it's hard to kind of commit to that. But that was on my to-do list to be a little bit more creative over this time, but I might not get there. So doing more things around my house has been what's helping me kind of stay sane. And Justin's so funny. He teases me a lot, but I was super proud of my garden that I put like all my pavers out because I literally don't know what I'm doing. So to rip bunch of wood and like I dug everything out. I laid it all in there really nice. It looks pretty even, you know. I mean, I didn't really go too crazy with how it was supposed to be done. It's the first layer and I'm only doing one. But I was super proud of it and I wanted to show him, and he's so funny. He teases me. He's not really this bad. He's like, it's just a rock. Why do I gotta go look at it? And I'm just like, darn it. And then he teases me and then he comes out there and he says, it does look way better. And so it, you have to, you know, I'm super proud of like doing something that's so out of my element, and making our house look nice. And I'm definitely more that person in our relationship than he is. I like to be busy and, you know, plan my garden and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what's kind of preoccupying my time. So we asked from you guys too, like, what are you doing to stay sane? And are you being creative? Are you writing? Are you reading? Are you cleaning your house? Like, what are you doing to kind of keep your brain on this balanced, even keel state of being productive, being happy, not going into, you know, kind of a depression or like a dark time just because we have way too much time to think? I think that's part of the problem, is that, you know, when you're not busy, you kind of sit and you're either watching the news, you're worried about your job, you're worried about like school, like what's happening with all the stuff around us that we have no control over. And I think that really does fester sometimes. And so I don't watch the news. Justin just keeps me updated on what's kind of happening. And my boss, Chris, will tell me like, hey, this is what's kind of happening that's related to us and how we are going to reopen. But for the most part, I don't watch any of it. I think it's really good for me to step back from it and not let it consume me, because I think I would go down that rabbit hole. And so yeah, post in the comments, you guys, of like what you're doing, or even like what your friends are doing or whatever. And maybe something that you write back is going to resonate with one of us, or maybe someone else reading this too, and getting some new ideas to try something, which would be super fun to share. So anything else you guys want to add about staying sane?
No.
Just be active, be grateful, be positive. You know, remember all the good things that are going on around us at this time too, and not focus on all the negative. And I think that will lead us to that nice balanced day. This is a great way to start it. So hopefully we helped you guys out today with some ideas. Be as active as you can. Do some of our challenges. You know, all of our classes are still up on YouTube and on Facebook. You can find them at any time, so you don't have to wait for the new ones or something that's coming out at that time. If you want to meditate, there's a couple of them on there. Just click it and go, right? We hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And again, share this. It might not be what fits with you today. Maybe you're like, I'm balanced all the time and this is great and it's not even affecting me. But maybe it's your neighbor, or maybe it's a family member that lives 3 states away that will see this and be like, wow, I am really struggling. And it's nice to know that I'm not the only one struggling, because that too, being in isolation is hard. I think we think we're alone, and you're not. We're all in the same boat together. So share. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We are here for you guys through everything, just to talk, to help you be active, to give you motivation and encouragement along the way. You're doing the same for us. So hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.